quarter, classic distance, $6 million the purse. And we're going to start, the horse we're going to start looking at here, Essential Quality, 8 wins and 9 starts, superstar horse, another horse with horse of the year potential. There's a couple of them in this field. We'll get to them all. Last year's Eclipse Award winner's champion, 2-year-old male. He won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile last year. He had a tough trip in the Derby. Brad Cox, the trainer, he won the 3 graded stakes races this year, including the Belmont and the 156th edition of the Travers Stakes right here, August 28th at Saratoga. Great battle at the finish with Midnight Bourbon. Luis Saez is the jockey. Your thoughts about Essential Quality?
Well, I always try to beat him, which is stupid on my part. His only loss was in the Derby by a length.
It never happens.
He got bumped at the start. He was very wide. So all things considered, he is a solid racehorse. And Luis Saez, he had a bit of a tough decision here because he's been riding Art Collector for Bruce Lunsford, a guy who owns a bunch of horses that race at Woodbine with Barb Minchell. And Saez opted for Essential Quality. I think you got to go with the gray. He's a little bit more accomplished, obviously, than Art Collector is. And, man, contention runs deep. This might be the best classic ever. I've been around to see all of them, but this just might be the best one ever.
What do you
This
think,
is
Sandy?
going to, it's going to be a tremendous race. Like Jason said, it could be the best classic ever. It's a tremendous race. Essential Quality, he finished 3rd in the Derby, but as you mentioned, he did have a bad trip. He won the Belmont, the Jim Dandy, and his latest, the Travers Stakes. He just, he looks really impressive. He's 8 for 9, and as you mentioned, the only race he got beat was in the Kentucky Derby. It's going to be a fantastic race, which it always is.
Good battle here with Midnight Bourbon. And does this horse, the gray here, we see Essential Quality. Does this horse show you championship pedigree in this battle right here?
Oh, yeah.
You know what? As a rider, you love to ride a horse like this. He just, he doesn't win by very far, but he wins every time. I mean, he has that competition beside him, and he just puts the competition away. And as a rider, you love riding a horse like this. He makes you look good.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
They can make you look good and make you look bad at the same time, right? So,
Make you look bad, but 8 times out of 9, Cox made you look good.
So Brad Cox also saddles a horse called Knicks Go. He won the Breeders' Cup Mile last year. He could be the favorite. It could be Essential Quality. It could be Knicks Go. This year, he won the Pegasus World Cup Invitational and 2 other stakes races, including this one right here, the Whitney Stakes in Saratoga in August. Joel Rosario aboard this horse right here. It's a small field, but he is 6 for 6 going 2 turns, and the buyer number in this race, very impressive, 111. Knicks Go.
Yeah.
Knicks Go.
Yeah,
can go.
Oh, yeah. Man, oh, man. Talk about the perfect 1-2 punch for Brad Cox, right? So you got the speed of Knicks Go, the closing power of Essential Quality, who likes to stalk. So he's got a full hand. And it was a bit of tongue-in-cheek when I was talking about the Breeders' Cup Classic and said that I haven't been able to see them all, because usually that's something you say because it goes back into the early 1900s or whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, with starting in the late 80s, I've watched them all, Joe, and this race has a bit of everything. And it'd be I don't know if it's ever happened. I'm sure potentially it has, but to have a horse win the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, which is considered a sprint, and then come back and then the next year win going 1.25 miles in the Classic, I don't think that's ever been done. Maybe it has, but it's just very rare to get a sprint-heavy horse to then stretch out and go a distance of 12 furlongs like this, Sandy.
You know what, for sure. And you know what, this race, it could actually decide who's going to be Horse of the Year, which it has in the past. But Knicks Go, what a tremendous horse! What a fantastic race this is going to be. As you say, Brad Cox, he's got a horse that's going to come flying off the pace, and a horse that's going to probably set the pace in Knicks Go. I mean, he's never been 1.25 miles before, but everything he does, every distance he's went, he's been very, very impressive. You can see, he's pulling away again. I mean,
Yeah.
he just makes it look so easy.
And ridden, pulling away. It is pretty easy. The other
Couple of good
horse we
looking
want to
grays there.
consider. Yeah. Another horse we want to consider. We're going to consider, of course, the Kentucky Derby winner, Medina Spirit, third in the
Hmm.
Preakness. Bob Baffert trained. Late August, Medina Spirit won the Shared Belief Stakes. Also won the Awesome Again Stakes, Grade One at Santa Anita right here, a mile and 1/8. And he was awesome in that one. He would pull away down the stretch to win it going away with John Velasquez riding. Uh, Medina Spirit is trying to become the fifth horse to win the Derby and the Classic in the same calendar year. Medina Spirit, of course, we had the controversy. Baffert was suspended from Churchill Downs after Medina Spirit tested positive for an overage of betamethasone. It's illegal anti-inflammatory, and that horse tested had too much of the betamethasone in its system after the Derby. What are your thoughts on first of all Medina Spirit and the situation with Baffert? Jason, let's start with you.
All right. Well, Medina Spirit, the horse. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to knock a guy like this. I mean, we all know about the blemish in terms of the Kentucky Derby. That's going to take a while to get figured out. But, he just loves a good old fashioned fist fight. You see his ears are pricked. Sandy can tell you anytime a horse will give you their ears like that, that's a good thing because they're not trying fully as of yet. So you love to look over between their ears and see that they're pricked, and you're like, oh yeah, we got some gas and some giddy up left in the tank here. Now, in terms of Baffert, okay, I get it. He doesn't have the squeaky cleanest past, but you know what? I think it would really help racing if we all got on the same page because there's always different medication requirements and levels allowed depending on the jurisdiction, whether you're racing in New York, whether you're racing in California, whether
Right.
you're racing all over the place, right? I mean, Kentucky. So I think, although, yes, I understand, Baffert did wrong and is being penalized for it. I just wish we had one governing body that overlooked all of racing, even in North America, so to speak. That way, you don't have to think as a trainer, how much of this can I give to a horse? How much of that can I do? Even for riders, here at Woodbine, we got to hit underhand, and we got a 3-strike rule. 1, 2, 3, then you got to ride again. You cross the border to Florida, you can do whatever you want. You hit overhand, underhand as many times as you want. So there's just too much going on. I just wish we could get on the same playing field in terms of medication for the trainers so they know what's going on for the horses. Some use Lasix, some don't use Lasix. And riders, what can you do, what can't you do? So anyways, that's my little rant. Sandy, I'll defer to
Right.
you now.
That's good. I like it. Sandy? Danny?
Well, I think Jason said it all, but just to add that you hate to see any horse disqualified, especially in the Kentucky Derby. I'm happy to see that Bob Baffert's allowed to run his horses in the Breeders' Cup. It's very unfortunate what happened. I'm sure it wasn't done on purpose. I'm sure it was an accident, but it's very unfortunate that things like this have to happen. And like Jason said, if there was one boarding government, that would be that'd be great. But getting back to Medina Spirit, I'll tell you what, if he gets on an easy lead, he could be really tough to beat. I mean, he's probably going to set the pace. He's probably going to go off at about 4-1 or so, and like I said, he could go wire to wire just like he did in his last race.
Well, what a great group of horses. And we haven't even touched on Hot Rod Charlie when the Pennsylvania Derby.
That's my pick.
I mean, gate to wire. Is that your pick, Jay? Yeah, $2.2 million, Hot Rod Charlie? Yeah.
He was my pick in the Derby. He was my pick in the Derby, Jason.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, you make your money back now, Sandy. Make your money back now because I can see Nick's Go. I don't know if anybody's fast enough to go with Nick's Go because he is a one-trick pony. He has to have the lead to win. If he doesn't get the lead, we've seen it before. He just doesn't play. So Joel Rosario has no option. He's got to send hard. So if anybody else wants to run with him, and chances are probably ruin their own little opportunity at winning, then they might do that. But I'm hoping that somebody goes with Nick, and there's a strong chance it'll be Medina Spirit. And if that's the case, even Art Collector, I don't know if he's quick enough. Hot Rod Charlie, even though the blinkers are going on, which suggests injecting more pace, I think he can sit just off of it with Pratt, and I think he's a little bit of a, little upset-minded proposition at 4-1.
Joy,
Waiting in the
I
wings to pounce.
I think Jason's got a good point. You know what? This could be it could be Hot Rod Charlie's race. You know, with the way the speed is in here, it could set it up perfectly for him, and he'll be coming on end. Should be a fantastic race as usual.
When I'm working out, I like to wear my Joe Tilley's Great Canadian Sports Show t-shirt. It makes me feel handsome and strong. If you want a t-shirt, support the show, click on the link below. Now, back to my workout. 1,761, 1,762, 1,763, 1,764.